Hi there. Well, I'm making this video about some kind of things that I don't know. I've kind of learned over the years doing content creation, streaming. Um, I used to be an official content creator for a few video games. I used to stream on Twitch, um, and it was pretty fun. It was pretty good. Yeah, enjoyed the games, enjoyed the fun times and memories that I had. Um, was very nice. And so far, I've enjoyed my time here on YouTube as well. As a content creator, I guess the lessons I've learned is, you know, people people are not always your friend. It's kind of silly to have to say that, but I've tried to strive to be that creator that's able to be open and make friends with a lot of people, allow you guys to approach me and talk to me and be personable with all of you. Um, but unfortunately, uh, I've had to kind of cut back on that. Uh, so it's kind of interesting because you guys remember that one song by Eminem called "Stan," right? If you haven't heard it, go listen to it. If I'm not mistaken, well, I guess let me put it down in a way that I saw someone put it as online. Stan being a conjugation of stalker and fan. Um, so doing Twitch as a streamer, I kind of experienced that kind of scenario a bit. Got close to a group of friends and stuff, and ended up running into a stan, uh, essentially. And then furthermore, um, I guess in a way, I ran into multiple of them with that entire scenario, which led to me being stalked on my social media platforms, harassed online, and I was being stalked on like even my LinkedIn and stuff. Um, so it was pretty uh, disturbing to say the least. Uh, so and I try to set boundaries and be good about that and stuff like that, but sometimes there's just that kind of psychological sort of connection, that psychological connection that people form with people they admire. For example, and no means am I a celebrity, but I guess it's a pretty good example. People falling in love and stalking and essentially harassing celebrities. So I gave up streaming because of that for a while, and now I've come back to YouTube. And of course, some of the old stands are still around, and there's new ones, causing problems. So I've learned that, like, if people don't get their way, etc., they're quick to turn around and turn their back on you too. Just kind of word of advice: if you are interested in content creation, be prepared for all the negatives, the social negatives, anyways. which also comes with financial negatives, reputational negatives, etc. Because if people that you set boundaries with, they won't always like it, and if they can't love you, manipulate you, etc. to something, they'll just default to just automatically hating you, is what I have found from experience. And you can't be the quiet person, you can't be the bigger person with these people. So as a content creator, I would recommend just finding a good lawyer and having them on retainer, because you're probably gonna need them at some point or another. With that being said, people really aren't like your friends. You may have like select few ones, but just be very careful about even the people that you're close with too, because just because you're close doesn't mean they have the same kind of genuine motivation and feeling of friendship that you may have. So be prepared for a lot of changes. Be prepared for a lot of people taking or trying to take advantage of you, and be prepared to be the change as a person, to set difficult boundaries for yourself. It's kind of tough. It really is tough being a content creator, especially 2 times over. In the time period that I've been a content creator, I've experienced plenty of years of harassment, stalking, of course, sexually assaulted a few years ago, and lost many friends throughout the entire period of my time frame of being a content creator. Quote unquote friends, right? Lies and rumors, about me. And that happens with pretty much most content creators too. Some sort of bad publicity kind of comes out at some point or another. Happens to all of us. So just be prepared for issues, the sacrifices that you're going to have to make. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be very tough, but it's probably going to be worth it. So, if this is something you love doing, just keep doing it. And my best recommendation is to, sadly, stay as disconnected as possible from people. Over the year that I've had this YouTube channel, I've probably supported and donated, about $12,000 to $13,000 worth of money, between various creators and donations and stuff like that. And I have receipts for that stuff. And of course, people that have no idea what they're talking about, and they're going to do the same thing to you. They're going to say, oh, they're going to undermine, things, like, oh, you supported this one particular thing, $5, blah, blah, blah. And they're only going to look at that, but they're not going to know the whole situation. And, of course, it's going to cause confusion, which is what manipulators love to do. And it's going to be utilized and weaponized, when you do good things. So just be prepared for that. Sadly, so for example, like I sponsored a canine avatar base from a large creator for about, I did it out of love and for the fandom and stuff, and of course no one talked about that. They're like, oh, you only supported $5 for this, but blah 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 blah. It's like, no, I didn't just support send $5. I donated all this money to all these different places. For example, $1,500 right there off the bat with that one creator who really needed help, and they were struggling with their bills, and I could use it as an opportunity to help them out, and then also support our community. And but people will definitely make life a lot more difficult for you, and no one will ask questions or try to give out or try to really support you. So you're gonna have to be prepared to fight for yourself, but also know when to shut up. And that lawyer that I talked about, you're gonna need them to handle a lot of things too. So if you're gonna be serious about content creation, you need to be thinking about these things and how it's gonna impact your life. Because it's pretty tough, man. It really is. But it's all worth it in the long run. When I see you guys, happy, comment, like, and reach out, in various ways, via YouTube comments, etc. I love to know that I can make a positive impact on people's lives. But there's always going to be those who are wanting to and seeking to destroy the good. And that's my purpose with my channel, is to have fun, give back, and inspire you guys. Like, I've inspired quite a few people since I've started late last year. Channel's not even a year old, I don't think. I believe I started back in November of last year. I've had so many people reach out to me and say that I've inspired them to do content creation, and inspired them to get involved with the community, and do good. And that's a great feeling, to know that other people are trying to do good because you inspired them to do that. But not everyone's gonna see that kind of stuff. And there are plenty of toxic people out there. And just be very prepared for that. Stand your ground, stand solid. And even if it means you have to kind of be, see, for me, I'm definitely not like a fighter. I'm not like an aggressive person or anything like that at all. So whenever I have to stand up for myself, it really pains me, especially whenever I have to be really hard on people because they're doing me wrong, So if you're kind of like that same kind of person that I am, it's going to be very tough for you. And you're going to have to make a lot of difficult decisions if you're going to be a content creator. Just be prepared for these things that I've kind of mentioned that no one really wants to talk about. People are going to weaponize anything that you say or do, especially, exes or past friends or or current friends or anything, you know? You have to be prepared for that. You know, basically, it kind of puts you in a position of not trusting anybody, which kind of sucks, and puts you in a position of like basically isolating yourself in a way. But like, you have to be prepared for those sacrifices, because they could very well happen, and they've happened in my case, and they've happened in numerous other content creators' cases that I know of. I don't know of a single content creator who hasn't ran into some various sort of social issue. You know, so really, really be prepared for a lot of change and a lot of questioning, and you know, just number one, take care of yourself and your safety first, because you know, that's a very important measure that you have to take as a content creator. Don't let people hurt you or take advantage of you. And don't just try to be the bigger person and be quiet with things. You need to be proactive and take you know, quick action on stuff. Otherwise, it's just going to get worse, especially with the stands. You know, they don't give up. It's been years, and the ones who initially were around for the streaming days, you know, they're still around and giving me problems and stalking my stuff, and you know, cyberbullying and stuff. Libel, slander, etc. You know, that's just a prime example. You know, people like that, they're not going to give up. I mean, normal people don't do that, as you're aware, you know. Normal people don't do that kind of stuff. But you're going to run into all sorts of people as a content creator, and you have to be prepared for as broad of a scenario. So, your current friends, you know, before you do that, you know, your very close friends, you know, stick with them, but be very wary about bringing in new people, and socializing and stuff like that, because really, essentially, every interaction with a new person you have is essentially a liability, and you have to kind of think about it in that regard. Because if someone can get something out of you, or if they can screw you, they will. And unfortunately, that is a common scenario, and you have to be prepared for it. Anyways, that's pretty much kind of like the main things that no one really talks about with content creation. And I hope that this provides some sort of like insight and helps, you know, the new creators maybe watching this, or established creators kind of come at it from a different perspective and take some measures to kind of say, you know, to themselves, you know, how can they kind of mitigate the liabilities, the issues that may come, you know, especially with people that are stalkers, or, you know, very much there not with good intentions. So unfortunately, this has been my experience. As much as I love content creation. It has, being a part of all of this has also very much so hurt me in so many ways. And from my experience, I give you kind of this little insight to my experience to hopefully make your experience better and promote a better, a safer community and maybe build a stronger content creation community. Don't let people get close to you and stuff. Like for instance, I mentioned being sexually assaulted. You got to be careful with everybody. Anyways, hopefully you can not repeat some of the same mistakes, especially with like just trying to be friends with everyone and being good to everyone and trying to maintain like a super open community and stuff. You have to take care of yourself. As much as I wish I could be 100% with everyone and there for everyone and make friends with everyone, I've just learned that trying to be good to people essentially gets me hurt in the long run. So just be prepared for that as a content creator.